Finishing up the MD Complete combination sunscreen that I've been using to reapply. And so I reviewed the Hada Labo Perfect White UV Gel for you all this week. And this is a bottle that I purchased around the time that a viewer sent me the last bottle I was using. So this little bottle is no longer available on Amazon. I mean, it is on Amazon, but it's incredibly expensive, and I don't think you can get it on Yes Style. They've since relaunched it in the jar packaging, which I don't mind the jar as far as the ingredients. I think they're more than fine in the jar. I don't care for the jar, however, in that it's not very good for transporting around and reapplying. So I'm glad I have this extra tube of the older version, but this is a good one. It's probably one of my favorite chemical sunscreens. It's just got the best spectrum of filters in it, and it's fragrance free, and it is really moisturizing. You don't need a moisturizer with this at all. It's very hydrating. I really like it a lot. Happy Saturday! You got show them your new
Saturday, everybody.
Show them your new phone case you got there.
I got this on Amazon, and I got it because of the rose gold.
It's cute.
But I find it kind of, to me, it looks like varicose veins. But
it's not your thing.
It does the job. It's fine.
It's not your thing.
I had a Vera Bradley one before that I really liked.
You got a dangler in your face. A Vera Bradley one you liked?
Yeah.
Did you go on her site and see if she had any?
I just didn't want, I got this and I was done with it.
Yeah.
That's enough of that.
Yeah. You're backlit a little bit. We didn't get the best seat today because we're in the dark.
It's crowded here.
Yeah, it's crowded. But last night I used that sample of the Dove Macadamia and Rice Milk Body Moisture Exfoliating Scrub Wash. And I was kind of disappointed because I thought it was a little mini sample jar that came in the FabFit Fun Box, but it was just a little sample thing that you lift off the seal and you have to use it. And it had about 2 uses in it. I used it last night, so it's very strong. The scent is very strong, but I slightly like the scent, but it left my skin feeling really soft. And then you tried it. What did you think of it?
I did not mind the scent. It had quite a lot of the granules, the scrubbies in it.
The macadamia nuts, yeah.
And that was nice, but it didn't foam. And I like lather.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like a creamy version of the Shea. What is that? The Tree Hut Shea body spray.
Yeah.
With a lighter fragrance.
Yeah. And now I feel a little itchy.
Oh, do you?
Is that one that I don't use body washes. They're useless, and they just dry out the skin.
I like to use them.
Yeah, I know. Most people do, but they're just a wallet sucker. They don't really serve a purpose other than to dry out the skin. They don't really decontaminate you or anything. And Dove is like the most misleading thing. It's actually the eczema person's enemy. They're always sold to people with eczema and promoted as gentle skincare, but they're really not. Most of the skincare products. The bar soap is terrible. I mean, it's bad for the skin. It dries out the skin and it's terrible. And their bar soap is supposed to be gentle. It's formulated with moisturizers and everything, but it's like a gentle cigarette for an eczema patient. I mean, it's not good for people with dry skin, but it's not good for people in general. I mean, it just doesn't serve any purpose other than to give you something to buy that you don't really need. But it does smell nice. But it didn't smell like like I was expecting it to. Macadamia nuts, first of all, are a terrible ingredient in a skincare product. Like ground up nuts. I mean, I can think of no worse ingredient. It's like that St. Ives apricot scrub stuff. Yeah, the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation inducer.
Well, another thing I need, it's not Dr. Dray approved, but I do enjoy the hot shower.
Yeah.
And I know that's not good.
It's hard not to take a hot shower.
Yeah, it's so nice on the neck.
Yeah, it's hard.
But yeah, when I come out of there, I look like a tomato.
How's the coffee this morning?
I haven't tried it. Did you want to peek in my...
Yeah.
I did.
What'd you get this morning?
I got the Hydroquinone, which I love. Hash browns, fruit, and a lot of tofu scrambled. One thing I like about their hash browns, they're not oily. They're not greasy.
Yeah, they must not put much oil on them.
No, I don't know how they
do put oil in them, but they do a good job.
And I didn't get my falafel cake this morning.
Oh yeah, no falafel.
What do you have?
So I just got some spiralized beets, which you can't really see, and some of their, it's called diet salad. It's basically kale and a little bit of black rice, cauliflower, green peas, some sesame crackers, a few Brussels sprouts, and the sesame seed sea vegetable seasoning that I like to sprinkle on top, and I think a few toasted coconut sprinkles as well. So that is what I'm having. I also have some blackberries down in there as well that you can't see. Yeah, I like to mix it up. It's always kind of an odd, probably sounds odd to everybody, but that's what I like, just a variety in there. Say it again?
They have a lot of fresh mint.
Yeah.
So I got some of that for a little chaser at the end.
Yeah, they've had, at the Whole Foods salad bar lately, they've had kind of a DIY Vietnamese summer roll ingredients with the vermicelli noodles and the mint. And I love the papaya, the papaya salad, but they put fish oil in it, fish sauce in it, so it's not vegan, which really bums me out. It doesn't look as good as the green papaya that you normally get in Thai restaurants, but yeah, I wish they didn't put that in there. And then my mom ran out of her Trader Joe's cocoa powder, and I had one of my little hot cocos last night that I make with, I like to make hot cocoa during Downton Abbey. I just have a tablespoon of cocoa powder, some cinnamon, 2 stevia packets in a cup of almond milk that I heat up in the microwave, and I just mix it. But I ran out last night, so we'll try the 365 cocoa powder. It seemed okay. I'm sure it's not as good. I really like that Trader Joe's one. It just blends in really well. I'm really loving that Cocoa Cardio stuff though, the Cocoa Ceps. It's like a mushroom cocoa powder drink that I get on iHerb. You haven't tried it yet, but it's really good. There's that one, and then there's one with powdered beets in it. It sounds disgusting, but it's really good.
I trust you.
Yeah, I think you would like it, but you're not really a hot cocoa drinker. I used to drink, before I was vegan, and when I was in college, I used to drink those little Diet Nestle hot chocolate packets. Do you remember I used to drink those in college? I liked them, but I don't drink those anymore because they have dairy in them.
Didn't you used to like Swiss Miss?
Yeah, with Swiss Miss. Swiss Miss Diet hot chocolate was really good. I used to get that. Show everybody, milestone, open wide. This is hard to get on camera.
Tybee, this is for your
posterity.
Okay, here.
He lost a tooth. Yeah, we just got back and Tybee was jumping up on me, and I looked in his mouth, and one of his teeth was on a diagonal, like it was popping out. And then he must have swallowed it, and he's got a little space there. He lost his first tooth.
Yeah, we tried to.
The tooth fairy's gonna have to come give you a visit, Mr. Wildman.
A shot of his mouth.
You need to have your first grooming. You're starting to look like a bum.
I'm a scallywag. What can I say?
I'm a peppy boy. Losing teeth and
I
taking
wonder if I should
names.
give him a bath today. Do you think that would improve his look?
He looks a little scruffy. You've just grown so fast.
He's outgrowing his.
Your fur is growing fast, and you're growing fast. So I'm going to brew up a batch of iced hibiscus tea here. I'm just bringing 2 cups of water to a boil, and I'm going to add it to 1 tea bag here in this Pyrex measuring container. And I'm gonna let that steep for 4.5 minutes. In the meantime, I just have 2 cups of water that I'm getting nice and ice cold. Once the tea is done steeping, I will add the ice cold water to it, and that'll be a quick batch of Louisiana hibiscus tea. All right, so the timer just went off, and I'm just going to take out the tea bag. And at this point, you could sweeten it with some simple syrup to make sweet tea, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add the 2 cups of cold water, and that will be delicious. So we decided to come out for a little walk, and prior to coming out, we put on our sunscreen. You did a good job.
Yes, she filmed me putting it on, so you'll get a good laugh.
Yeah, so my mom is currently wearing Revlon Color Stay Foundation, was what you had on?
It's either called Color Stay or Color Match.
Color Stay or Color Match. Well, look, okay. And you were able to apply that sunscreen over your foundation. It went on well.
That's my favorite sunscreen. It's probably very expensive.
Yeah, and you patted it in.
Yeah.
I noticed. Yeah, they ask me all the time how to apply sunscreen over makeup, and I have no clue because I don't wear the stuff. But you find patting it in is a good way to do it like that. It looked like you got a pretty decent layer. You know, you were probably getting, I don't know, maybe 0.5 milligram per centimeter squared. Yeah, in order to get to the SPF, the sun protection factor, which is merely the protection against UVB, in order to get to what's labeled on the bottle, you need to be
putting on 2 milligrams per centimeter square. And people will say, well, what about powders to reapply over makeup? You see, if you put a powder on as your reapplication layer, you're only getting specks of maybe, say your powder is SPF 30 or SPF 35 or SPF 50. You're getting speckles of SPF 10, SPF 5, SPF, I don't know, it's falling off my face into the trash. So you see why you need to reapply a base layer to actually get the protection against the cancer-causing rays, as well as the aging UVA rays. So if you'd have just put on a powder over that, you wouldn't have that protection. You see, I showed you guys on the Coppertone UV index, it's currently a UV index of 9 right now. So, you know, sunscreen is essential no matter what the UV index is, but it's helpful to have that piece of information in your head going out as to how severe it's going to be. Your base layer morning sunscreen is Aveeno SPF 30?
Yeah, daily.
Aveeno Daily.
Moisturizer, whichever one. I like that.
And so you might say, well, you just put on all that sunscreen, why do you need a hat? And see, I'm wearing sun protective gloves and long sleeves. Well, at a UV index of 9, that's quite high and dangerous. And the hat protects rays that are coming down onto my face, but rays are being reflected off the surface of the sidewalk, off of cars, onto the side of my face, the side of my neck. These are all areas that are prone to are susceptible, so you need the protection here. Yeah, sprays, powders just don't reliably distribute the monolayer of SPF you need to protect against skin cancer reliably. They're helpful. They're helpful frosting and sprinkles. That's what they are. They're sprinkles of SPF. They're not the cake.
Looks like you're chopping up some, what is that, spinach? So you're making a chopped salad?
And then here's all the...
Ooh, you made couscous and lima beans. These are from frozen lima beans and couscous? You made that in the Instant Pot?
No, I actually just... Couscous is so easy.
It is
You
easy,
just boil the water and add it. But I threw in 2 tablespoons of that chili sauce.
Ooh, yeah, that stuff is good.
I like so well.
That stuff is good. And we've got some steamed carrots and some steamed potatoes from Costco that you steamed those in the Instant
Yeah, I
Pot.
did it. They came out so nice.
Cucumber and tomato and onion. And those are those eye of the goat beans.
The last of them.
Those are good.
I'm sorry to see them go.
And snap peas.
I believe they're an heirloom bean, too.
Yeah, they're really good.
Kind of a messy chopper.
So yeah, we had a nice walk. It's quite bright out there. So you may ask me, when the UV index is like 1, do we still need to wear sunscreen? Like, why is it important to understand the UV index or to be aware of it? You need to wear sunscreen regardless, particularly if you are trying to fade dark spots, hyperpigmentation, if you have a history of skin cancer. I mean, really, if you have skin in general, you need to protect it. The concentration of UVA in daylight is quite potent despite the UV index, okay? So the UV index actually underestimates or doesn't give you a picture of the actual UVA, which is the kind of aging and raging rays, as well as those rays that contribute to hyperpigmentation. So always important to do the sunscreen, but you can see, knowing the index is going to be 9, you're not just going to like waltz outside with, a mineral powder on and think you're good to go. You'd really be setting yourself up for failure, particularly if you're using hydroquinone to fade melasma. You're just walking into a failure trap right there, not to mention a hotbed of skin cancers. So that is that. But you were able to get it on you're able to get your sunscreen on over foundation, no problem.
Oh, you can look at my...
Pat-in method.
Excuse my wild hair, but...
Yeah. That Revlon Color Stay is pretty good.
I like that foundation.
Yeah. Ty B, we need to get some sun protection strategy on you, particularly once we get you groomed and you don't have as much SPF. Yeah, the nose for sure. The nose for sure, yeah. Couscous, lima beans, the eye of the goat beans. Did you put... Oh, you put guacamole in there. Festive.
Yeah.
And cucumber. and potatoes and sweet snap peas and tomatoes. Looks good.
Yeah, I know it will taste good.
And I've got a bed of spinach here with some steamed carrots, some of the eye of the goat beans, some of this couscous lima bean gamish my mom threw together, and cucumber, and some of those potatoes. Those come out so good.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones from Costco.
Again at Costco.
Yeah, I think they're worth it. They last a long time.
For me
They stay.
being sitting by myself, it's better than having large potatoes.
Exactly. Yeah, you can just steam up however many you
And
want to eat at one
snack
time.
on them because they're actually somehow they taste a little bit like a.
They taste like a hard-boiled egg. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Shall I try your hibiscus?
Yeah. See how the tea tastes.
Cheers, everyone. Oh, this is so nice.
Oh, it's good.
This will be the summer drink for sure.
You really like it? Good. And no
Try it.
sweetener in it. It doesn't have any sweetener in it.
It's really good.
Well, that is good. Very refreshing. Stay classy. Well, hey guys, what's up? I just got home and I'm back at the Bat Cave. Went to the gym and just got out of the shower. I hope you all enjoyed the vlog today. I had a fantastic weekend with my mom as per usual. And I hope some of the commentary throughout today's vlog in terms of sunscreen was helpful to you guys. I reviewed for you all the Hada Labo UV white gel, SPF 50 PA++++, earlier this week in comparison to the Neutrogena Hydro Boost sunscreen. I obviously prefer this if you watch that video. This is phenomenal. And this sunscreen, as far as I can tell, exact same ingredients from the sunscreen that you all were seeing me apply earlier today, the Hada Labo Perfect UV Gel. I think they've just rebranded it. But as far as I can tell, the ingredients are the same. I'm not such a fan of the fact that this is in jar packaging, not because I'm worried about the ingredients being stable in the jar. I'm more worried about how useful this is for reapplication. Like I love being able to take this with me. This sunscreen reapplies phenomenally. So putting it in the jar, you kind of just lose some of that convenience factor. But this is a phenomenal sunscreen. I really enjoy it. Very moisturizing. This sunscreen vehicle, okay, so not the active sunscreen ingredients, but everything else in the jar is incredibly moisturizing. So this functions well as a standalone moisturizer. It is not something that's going to clog your pores or make you excessively oily. I believe it would go on over makeup relatively well, but I can never really comment on that too much. Maybe my mom should try it out sometime. I mean, she's tried this before, presumably over makeup, because she wears foundation every day and she didn't comment that it was problematic. So I think it goes on over makeup pretty well. I really like it. This does not have fragrance, unlike the Biore one. A note about chemical sunscreen, so those that contain other active ingredients besides just zinc and titanium, they do need to be applied about 15 to 20 minutes before you go outdoors. And the reason being that, first of all, the chemical filters need to form a film, and they need adequate time to do that to then begin to be able to offer you protection. And also, if you're using chemical sunscreens that have avobenzone in them and don't have other filters that we don't have here in the US that can further stabilize the avobenzone, you really, you start losing some of the functional protection from the avobenzone upon exposure to UV light. So ideally, those are always applied indoors, approximately 15 to 20 minutes before you go outside, 30 minutes if you really want to be prudent. Yes, I apply them for you guys in the car frequently, just because, to be honest with you, the lighting and just being able to set up in the car is a lot easier. I reapply throughout the day, and I'm not always filming that. So I try to kind of get a capture of that today for you all. You saw me apply before I went outside. So yeah, you should be applying these, however, 20 to 30 minutes before anticipating leaving for the day. If that's inconvenient to you though, you might want to instead select sunscreens that are zinc
or titanium exclusively, but those oftentimes are the ones that are a little bit more difficult to apply over makeups. They tend to leave the white film unless they are nano-sized or micro-sized, in which case they tend to be more expensive. So, you know, you kind of have to factor in a lot of these things into your lifestyle. Sun protection is very important for skin cancer prevention, aging of the skin, and you know, if you're trying to treat anything cosmetic whatsoever, it is essential to the outcome of any cosmetic thing that you're pursuing, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I hope today's video was fun for you guys and you enjoyed it. I'm going to conclude it here. My Kosari just dinged. The sound of magic. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.